Alright guys, what is up? We should be live. Let's have a look. See if TikTok Studio is working. Yeah. Oh god. I think we've got an ad. Let me... go away. I actually need to get my YouTube Premium back because I've actually lost it. So now I keep getting ads on YouTube, which is super annoying. Yeah, I'm still building the AI tool. Yeah. It's actually coming together pretty nicely. So we have trends that can now be analyzed. So what it will basically do is it'll look at your results, put it into a graph and show you a running trend of it going up or down. It can identify any issues like ad fatigue, saturation, auction overlap. So it can do all of that. What it can't do is actually upload ad creative to Ads Manager, because to make that work, I've got to create a integration with Facebook where the user has to log in and then get like how do you call it, like cookies that gets passed through to the app that I built. And to get that, you have to go through like an approval system. So I've not yet really gone through that. So at the moment, you have to actually copy your API key for Facebook and put it into this bot that I built. But it's coming together. Sorry guys, let me go back to TikTok chat. I've lost it. Where has it gone? Here we go. I can't even pronounce that second name, but what is up, A? I'm going to call you A. How you doing? Hope you're well. Yeah, I've not been live streaming too much over the Christmas period. It's been pretty busy, but it's good to be back. I'm back on my regular streams now, to be fair. Trying to stream like 2 or 3 times a day. I think 2025 is going to be the year of live streaming, honestly. Live streaming and creative social. Like the amount of brands that are gonna... Gary Vee put a post out the other day, like, if you don't test creative organically before paid, you are essentially doing malpractice. Like, it's just pointless. So I think 2025 is going to be the year where you see a huge shift in brands being built through organic social. And we already saw it this year. Like some of the fastest growing brands I've seen this year popping off are because of organic social. Yeah, my own TikTok, for example. Like in my industry, to stand out and get clients coming through and leads, if you do it through paid ads, you're going to be paying a fortune for leads. Yeah, I used to work with an agency, I ran their ads. They were spending 30 grand a month. And I think they were paying like £150 per call booked. And probably like 1 in 5 calls would actually be decent enough. The rest of them were time wasters, they couldn't afford it, they wanted free advice, they already had an agency doing it. It's a nightmare. And then when you go down the route of TikTok, organic brand, people buy into that. And what you find is this like difference in how people purchase from you. So it's very impulsive. It's like, I just saw your video, I resonate with that, I want to work with you. Send me an invoice. That's literally what it's like. And the same applies on the B2C side. You know, look at brands like Oddmuse, put out a cool video of a girl wearing a nice dress, and before you know it, they've got too many orders. They've sold out. Well, it's organic social. Organic social is literally just, you know, posting on TikTok, Instagram Reels, YouTube Shorts. It's organic channels. And you're getting organic impressions that you're not paying for, essentially. The only cost is your time, or maybe the cost of content creation. But there's more leverage to it, because you could have, let's say, 100 followers right now, or even 0 followers right now. Your first post does 1 million views. and it's a million views of people that are within your niche. And so if you were to calculate how much you would have paid to get those views, the cost would be crazy high. How would you market a beauty brand? Beauty is a little bit harder. Like, I've worked with a few over the years. The way I do it really is just to get really authentic content creators to talk about the product in your ads, which I think is super important. You don't want anybody that's like really fake, if you know what I mean. With some of these UGC creators, they're so fake and they exaggerate. You want someone who really fits the customer persona of who you're going after. Don't make any bold claims. Really break down what's in the ingredients. I found that this year when I've worked with beauty brands, people are very conscious of the chemicals and what they're putting in their skin. So if you've got someone that's like really natural or sustainable, anything like that, you've really got to push that message. And then it comes down to really like building a good brand that people want to buy into. I'm doing videos, but views are low. How do I get this up? I mean, you've probably heard this before, right? You just got to keep posting. It's all about consistency. I've done 230 videos, I think, off the top of my head, something around that. Like, it took a lot of work. You just got to be consistent. 2x only ROAS. That's what we're getting at this time of the year for this brand. Don't be fooled by anybody that claims to be getting like 5x ROAS. It's not happening. In fact, paid ads is worse than it ever has been. You've only got to go on sites like Reddit, some of these private communities I've got one myself. People are really struggling with ROAS. Cost of advertising has gone up. It's not like it used to be. People just don't see an ad in the feed and buy like they used to. Which is why, when I was saying at the start of the stream, I think 2025 will be the year of organic social.
Big ideas.
Right, I need to upgrade my YouTube Premium. This is annoying. Do I use specific hashtags? For me, I use like hashtag marketing, hashtag entrepreneurship. If I'm doing a video about Facebook ads, I'll do like hashtag FB ads. That's pretty much it. You know, I've done a video that's like really specific organic content marketing, then I'd use a hashtag content marketing. I don't use any of the sort of generic hashtags like hashtag FYP, that type of stuff. Is the 2 to 3x ROAS profitable? It's profitable, but very small amounts. This brand relies really on repeat orders. For them to be like really, really profitable, they need to be hitting a 3.5x ROAS overall, which, as you can see, is not happening right now. We've tested a lot of creative. This time of the year is a lot more competitive. It's harder. So yeah, I'm not gonna lie to you and say it's like super profitable. Why is your CPM above 60 euros targeting UK? It's most likely coming down to the time of the year, competition, right? So you had Black Friday, which was chaotic, but really it was Black Friday month because you had brands that were doing the entire month. Then you had Christmas, all the hype around order now in time for Christmas, brands spending heavy amounts of budget. And now you've got the post-Christmas sales, you know, from people that have been gifted money over Christmas. So you've got like Boxing Day sale, New Year's Eve sale, New Year's Day sale, sorry. You've got New Year sale. So a lot of it's going to come down to that. But aside from that, it could also be down to the way you have your campaign set up, your ad set structure. You know, if you've been saturating the same audience, that can make your CPM go up. Easiest way to get your CPM down is just produce ad creative that is really engaging. The other thing to look at is this right here, this breakdown. You've got country, platform, age, placements. Look at some of these breakdowns and you might find that there's a big difference in the CPM by some of these breakdowns. And if there is, then you can obviously go in and make changes. Country is usually one. If you've got multiple countries, I think you said you're doing the UK only, but if you If anyone is doing multiple countries, look at the country breakdown. You'll find a huge difference in CPM. Is ABO still worth it, bro? It's still worth it. I'm only using ad set budget optimization. I'm not doing CBO. I haven't done it for a while. You know, if you've been on my other streams, you will have heard me say before, like, I'm not a fan of using all of these automated features on Meta anymore because I don't trust Meta. A lot of times I've looked at where my money's gone and thought, well, actually, I think Meta did a terrible job at distributing that spend. I think it put the spend in the wrong place. And so now I've gone to just really using ad set budget optimization only. Do I do any courses? No. I mean, I've got like videos that are in this community that some people pay for, but I don't really have like a proper course, no. I do coaching, like one-to-one, weekly calls, that type of stuff. Why do you think one duplicate performs better than another? So the way to think about it is, if you have two ad sets, right, and they're both the same targeting, the same interest, and they have exclusions, think of this like train of momentum, I guess is like a good analogy. So you have this train that starts moving, right, and it's heading in the right direction, and then as soon as you duplicate it, you're putting that train back to the start. That's kind of what's happening. And so if you run two ad sets at the same time, one's performing better than the other because that one ad set that's doing well has found its path to finding the right people, if that makes sense. That's kind of what's going on. And that's why I don't really duplicate things anymore. Like, you would create an ad set, you test, let's say, like 3 UGC videos, and you find that those videos are working, and then people would duplicate those videos to a campaign with like a higher spend, and you'd find that actually don't get the same results. And it's literally down to that reason. It's like you build momentum, and then as soon as you duplicate it, you're literally starting again from scratch. So you're better off just increasing the budget of what you already have working. What do I think about beauty skincare niche? I think it's pretty competitive. Obviously there's a lot of money in it. It all comes down to like building a strong brand, and I've noticed recently with one I worked with, a lot of people are conscious of what they're using. So you've really got to nail the ingredients and make it super clear that, you know, if you're a natural skincare brand, you are natural and how you're natural, and get people to talk about that in the videos that you produce. Can you scale ad set for me? It's performing well, but I want to scale. Yeah, I do run ads for people. I do coaching as well. So I can definitely do that. But if you want to scale, like, if it's just one ad set, just increase the budget each day by 10 to 15%, you'll be good. Do I think beauty skincare niche is good? It's good, but like if you're talking about, you know, drop shipping or testing something, I think it's probably the hardest niche for that. If you're fully committed and you're willing to invest heavy into brand and developing good products and content, then yeah, you know, obviously you can make it a success. Am I using CPC or as metrics instead of CPC? No, I'm not using the version with all, because it's very misleading. So I'm really looking at the click-through rate of people that see an ad and go to the website and save the cost per click. That is the most accurate one. Right here in this view, you'll see CPC all. Because I'm looking at the sales where it shows ROAS, by default it shows CPC all, which haven't changed it. Do I think it's better than fashion? Is beauty better than fashion for a niche? They're both very difficult. Fashion comes down to brand, just like beauty. Why are people going to buy into your fashion brand? That's what you've got to figure out. I think both of them are very difficult. If you're starting out, like this is your first time doing business or running ads, I would avoid both of them. Because what's going to happen is you're going to have limited capital, you're going to start running ads, and you're going to very quickly learn that it's not working. And it won't be the ads, it will be down to what you're offering. So if you're starting out, I would look at something a bit more scalable and easier to figure out, like a service business. Even a marketing agency is probably easier than fashion brand, because you're solving a problem, and you can get kind of straight to the point, right? If you're an accountant, I'm helping people save money on taxes. I'm helping them do tax preparation, accounting. So when you run ads for that, it's very obvious who you're reaching. But with a fashion brand, it's like, how do you get somebody to see a hoodie and buy into it? You've got to build brand. So it's just a lot harder if you're starting out, if you don't have much experience. How do we get into contact with you? You can send me a message on TikTok, or you can use the link in my bio. I have very good stats like yours, but no sales in Italy. How is it possible? If you get no sales, but you're getting good click-through rates, I mean, it's probably your website is not set up like good conversion rate optimization, so you need to get down that route. Start by looking in GA4, and hopefully you're using UTMs. You want to look at where are people dropping off. Oh, we've got another ad. Let me turn this off. One sec. LinkedIn are advertising to me like crazy at the moment. It's hella expensive. Do you recommend to test an ad set with interest, one including Advantage Plus, another without it? Yeah, I would definitely look at doing that. I think everyone should try Advantage Plus, but for me personally, like, I've not found it to be very good long term. It tends to fluctuate, it tends to have the most issues, so I don't use it. I pretty much don't use it at all, to be honest. I think I've got like one brand that I'm using it. CBO isn't spending on all my ads, should I switch to ABO? Yeah, I would. You want to be able to look at your ad sets, right, each day, multiple times a day, and you want to be able to dictate where your budget's going. And with CBO, you can't really do that. You can set minimum daily spends in the ad set and rules like that, but for me personally, I want to have control. I think CBO and some of these other campaign types are really for people that, I don't want to say lazy, but like they want to be very hands-off. And the more hands-off you are, the worse your performances. Tell me more about this brand. This brand do fashion accessories. They've been going for about 3 years, or maybe 4 years actually, somewhere around that. And what they've been doing is testing creative at scale on TikTok, and figured out what people are buying into, what goes viral, and then repurpose that content into ad creative, which we then run as ads on Facebook and Instagram. For this brand, most of it's coming from Instagram though, to be fair, Instagram Reels and IG Stories. The content's very much like TikTok style, like UGC, with captions over it. Like buy now, get this offer, blah, blah, blah. So it looks like TikTok video, it doesn't really look like an ad. Some of it's kind of funny, and then it drives people to a landing page. That landing page has got plenty of social proof. It's got UGC content, reviews, FAQ, like content about the brand story, the founder behind it, That's just a cool product. And then in terms of the campaign structure, every single one of these ad sets is broad. We're not using Vantage Plus. We have retargeting as well. The one with 3x ROAS, that's retargeting. How long or how much spend you let an ad campaign run before assessing it? So you ideally want to get 10 conversions if you can. So whatever your cost per conversion is. Or the other way to look at it is you want to try and run the ads for 7 days. Because within a 7-day period, you get a very accurate representation of how it's going. If you turn it off after 24 hours because of the results you're seeing, well, those results might not actually be that accurate. And there is a very common issue with attribution where it's delayed. So if I look at today's results and then I look again for today's date, but in 3 days, it can often change because you had delayed reporting. So 7-day is much better to look at because you're essentially looking at a 7-day attribution window. Otherwise, if you're spending enough money per day, I'm talking like $1,000 a day or more, then you can figure out if something's working within like a day, 2-3 days, because you can very quickly get conversions. So yeah, it depends on those scenarios. Is there any point of separating IG story placements in a separate campaign? Only if you look at it and you're seeing a good volume of conversions with really good CPAs that are lower than what you're currently getting, and you find that Facebook is not actually spending that much money on that placement. If you're only getting like 5 conversions at a really cheap cost per purchase or cost per lead, then no, there's no point. But if you had, say, 100 conversions on the feed and 30 on IG stories, and actually IG stories has always consistently been cheaper than there, I would do it. So it's about having enough data. Have you ever run your own ecom store? Not ecom, no. Kind of avoided it. I've got other companies, but they're not ecom. I do a lot in tech companies. I guess it's just because the barriers to entry for me in launching a tech company like programming and building software is very low. Whereas the barrier to entry for an ecom brand, say like, I don't know, teeth whitening brand, something like that, you've got to buy stock. There's just so much you've got to do. And with like a tech company, I find it really easy to validate if something's going to work very early on with very little capital and effort. That's kind of how I see it. So yeah, I've never really launched my own, but I want to at some point. CBO or ABO if you have a small budget. If you've got a small budget, $50 a day, I'd probably do ad set budget optimization and just have one ad set. You shouldn't really be spending $50 a day between like 3 ad sets, unless you are doing lead generation or you've got a campaign where the CPA is like a couple of dollars. I'm talking like $5 or so. But if you're paying like $30, $40, and you only have 50 a day, then yeah, it's gonna be very tight. Cheers to the roses. you also have a CBO cost cap campaign for security? In this brand, no, but in some brands I do, yeah. Cost cap, in my experience, only really works when you're spending enough money per day. So I had a client, actually you don't work with now, but I had this client that was doing CMOS. They're spending between 10 to 15,000 per day, and they were in Australia. Obviously, I'm in the UK. And what would happen is when I'm sleeping, you can sometimes get these crazy fluctuations in CPAs, or like spend all its money in like 3 hours. So I implemented the cost cap because it made it more stable throughout the entire day. And then we had a lot of campaigns running, and because they're quite a big brand, they could afford to spend like 30k in a single day, provided that they could hit those numbers. So those are kind of scenarios where I use it. It does work for like 200 or 300 a day, but I don't really use it as much personally. I don't find it as effective. What do you do when you get no sales but you're running ads in a single day? Well, the worst thing you can do, I have this issue a lot actually with clients. The worst thing you can do is start changing things drastically. Like, you are going to get days where performance dips, and if you change it, so you start editing the campaigns, changing the creative, turning things off that previously worked, it'll cause more harm than good. So it will often correct itself. The fluctuation most of the time is down to more competition, or it's down to Facebook's algorithm sort of failing to find the right people during that day. That can happen a lot. But a lot of people I work with, the moment that you get like a poor day or even a couple of hours start performing poorly, they want you to start changing things. And I've learned the hard way that that's the worst thing to do. I have one brand, right, where I think it was last week. Was it Tuesday or Wednesday last week? Things went terrible. And we just left it, and it's corrected itself. How much traffic or spend should you use before setting up a retargeting campaign? You can launch retargeting straight away. It's more about your budget allocation. So I would do like 30% to bottom of funnel if you're starting out. Even maybe 20%. So go really hard on top of funnel, and then once you've got, say like 1,000 people that have gone to your site or more, then you can start increasing bottom of funnel. What are my thoughts on funnelish, advertorials, and VSLs? I mean, they work, but I don't know if they work as well as they used to. I'm quite a fan of these like quizzes now. You get people to do a quiz. It's like lead generation. But for me, like a lot of these VSLs, they're very much like the crap you see online with social media agencies and false offers. That type of people, like ClickFunnels. So I feel like they start to have this brand about them. It's like another guy doing a webinar who's going to try and sell to me. I feel like there's a better way to do it. That's just my personal opinion. I'm very much turned off by it. Like if I see a cool ad and I click, and there's a VSL, I just think, screw it, I'm not going to bother. So I kind of feel like it's just going to be a load of crap. But on the other hand, if it was like a free guide or free ad templates, and they're going to sell to me that way, well, I'm more likely to click into that because I'm getting value up front. It's called Outreach Dead. I think it depends on the niche, honestly. Like in my niche, my industry, I think it is. There's too many people trying to do it. But for like old school niches, and there are definitely niches out there that it does work for, yeah. It's very difficult. And to be honest, if I like to spending 10 hours on cold outreach or 10 hours on content creation for TikTok and IG Reels and that type of stuff, I would definitely do the content. I wouldn't touch cold outreach. You want people coming to you, ideally. As soon as you go to people, it's so much harder. Like, you've got to pitch yourself. You're going to get people that try and discount what you're offering because you went to them. Hello, what niche is this? This niche is fashion accessories. My AI bot? Yeah, I'm still building it. You know what? Let me see if I can bring it up and show you where it's at. Can it be done for courses, PDF strategies, etc? Yeah. I can work in that niche. Yeah. One sec. I'm about to run ads for German-speaking countries, maybe 200 euros. Any advice? What are you selling? What's the product? Guys, if you want to help me out, hit the like. Great, appreciate that. I'm going to quickly bring this up. One sec. Facebook is being very slow. Right, I'm gonna have to redeploy this bot, but I'll show you it if it works. It could be some bugs though. Hyde, what's up, man? How you doing? Facebook or Google ads for restaurant niche. For restaurant, you know what? I'd probably try Google first. See what the cost is to rank first. But otherwise, yeah, I'd be looking at Facebook. Facebook's pretty good for restaurants. Selling duvet covers. I mean, I'm assuming you're doing the ad creative in German, right? If duvet covers, I've not really done duvet covers, but I guess you're looking at maybe like an us versus them type of ad creative. You maybe talk about like comfort or like what you get in terms of value for money for sizing, anything to do with like material. UGC type of content where like people are literally reacting to how soft it is, how comfy it is, like that type of content might work. But I've never really done duvet covers. I'd have to look at what the competition are doing. I'm probably looking on Facebook ads, to be honest, like top 3 competitors, look at what they're doing, try and figure out, is there any trends with that type of messaging that you can almost replicate. Anyway, this, I can't remember who asked it now. I think it was on YouTube or TikTok. Someone asked about the bot I was building. Let me show you real quick. Still building it, by the way, so it might have some bugs. And obviously the UI is still pretty basic. Let me quickly open up. Let's try this one. So what it does, right, is you give it your API key for Facebook, and it will go through and do an API call, and it'll pull out any metrics it can do. Let me see if I can find a better example. Let me try, which one can I try? Let's try this one. And essentially what I'm trying to do is build these graphs like this, so you can look at performance trends, AI insights. So these will start recommending, like, when there's no data here for this ad account, but you can kind of see what I'm building out here. It'll give you predictions on like what the likeliness is that you're going to get X amount of ROAS by the end of the month based on current performance. You can create alerts, and it's also going to do a creative analysis on how fatigued your ads are. That's essentially what I'm still building. Probably a few days away from it being like usable. I've been trying to get clients, but it's so difficult. Yeah, it's very difficult. The thing that always works, honestly, is just giving loads of value for free. Because in this market, it's about like who can actually get the results, right? And the only way you can really show that is that you work for free, almost, or you give away stuff for free. You don't want to make yourself look like you're really struggling to find work, because a lot of brands will pick up on that and see it as a red flag. But yeah, it's really not easy, honestly. I think this market for like social media agencies in general is going through a huge shift right now. I think AI is definitely affecting it. A lot of people don't realize, but you know, marketing managers have now got access to literally, like I've just shown you, you can plug in data from your Facebook ads, put it into ChatGPT, Gemini, Claude, whatever you want to use, and it will give you guidance. It will tell you what to do. what do I do if my click-through rate is below 1%? What does it mean if my frequency is this? Like, it's getting harder, and the value of some of these media buyers is definitely declining. I think now it's going to come down to the ad creative. To clarify, you run optimized ads for others and do analysis. Basically what I'm doing, like for this brand here, is I'm running their ad campaigns. I'm giving them strategy. I'm giving them analysis on what creative's working, what they need to create more of. And the way I'm kind of working is like treating it like my own business. Looking at the bigger picture. Are ads actually contributing? Do they need to invest more into the brand, the website? How do they improve that? But most of the time, like day to day, I'm just running ads. You can barely see the chat. Why can you barely see the chat? Is that like just the way TikTok is, or? How can we work with you as a paid marketing client? If you use that link in my bio, just reach out through there. I should probably change it. Like, a lot of people reach out at the moment and they want to do coaching because they don't want to outsource all of the ads. They want someone to kind of look over it. But I can do both. The white background. Ah, shit, okay. Damn. How can I fix that? Let's have a look. Let me go to Shopify. Go dark mode. You can't really do dark mode in Meta ads, can you? I wish they did. I actually hate light mode. It kind of hurts my eyes. Let me try something else. Does Shopify have a dark mode? I don't know if it does. Alright, give me 1 second. Yeah, I wish Meta had a dark mode. That'd be kind of nice. Maybe I could build a Chrome extension that like changes it. You can do dark mode with Chrome apps. Oh, really? Dark mode the spreadsheet. This is Ads Manager. I mean, you can't really dark mode it. Yeah, you can't dark mode it. That's such a flaw with Facebook and TikTok. I wonder if we could use like Miro. Problem with me is like there's a lot of people on TikTok that show screenshots, whereas I kind of want to show the real thing. But that also means then I have a massive white background. Nah, that won't work, will it? Darker Reader Chrome app. Do you know what? I'm actually gonna install it right now. Let's have a look. Oh wow, this actually looks pretty cool. This right here. Dark mode for every website. Take care of your eyes. Yeah, my eyes are screwed. Literally spent so long looking at this computer. Right, how do you actually use this? Let me have a look. They want me to pay for it. Oh wow. There's Ads Manager in dark mode. Does that actually look any better? I feel like it's hard to see now. That is wild. Guys, let me know how that looks, if that's any better. I'm genuinely curious. What is your current MRR? I wouldn't say that online. It's above 10k. Hide. If you don't want to run an agency for 6 months, like, I wouldn't go down the route of an agency, honestly. I would go down the route of being a freelancer. You could literally work at an agency and charge them like £400 a day if you're good. And just do that as a freelancer. You're very good, I'll give you that. Thank you. But yeah, you know what? Like, anyone that's looking to build an agency right now, I literally tell them, I rain on them. I say, don't do it. It's the worst idea. It's the worst thing you'll ever do. Do you know Mark Liu? Mark Liu. I think I've heard of him. He's on TikTok, right? Could DM for coaching or strategy call. Yeah, man, send me a DM, we can talk. You're looking to do supplements. Supplements are good, like, it depends on exactly what you're selling. But you can make it work. Hi, no, it's not the same if you're a freelancer. No. There's a big difference between being a freelancer and being an agency. The freelancer way is the easiest way. That's what I'm doing. I wouldn't build an agency. As soon as you go down the agency route and you've got like 3 people, you have so many things you have to do. And there really isn't this like graph that just goes up. In my experience, the agencies that build and they're making like 20-30 million a year, like big numbers, and they're growing, these are the ones that have executives that have got connections in the big companies like the Fortune 500s, the Pepsis of the world, that will sign contracts for like 12 months and they'll be giving them big retainers. It could be like 50,000 to 100,000 a month. Without that type of client, it's very hard to scale an agency. Like, it's very difficult to scale a big agency with 10 clients paying you $1,000 a month. Because those types of clients, they're always going to be trying to find new agencies or people that offer crazy offers, even if they don't actually work or they're not legit. And then you've got an issue with talent. The bigger agencies retain talent more because you have people that will come in and work for like big brands, and there's like more of a reason, more incentives. Yes, it's freelancing. I think is different because all I'm doing is I'm focused on delivering the client work, getting repeat revenue. Whereas the agency route, there's just so much more you have to focus on, like recruiting the right talent, managing the clients, obviously client delivery, sales, operations, making sure like the people that are working in the accounts are spending enough time and are generating enough results, and the account's profitable. Like if you want to build an agency, there's a lot you have to do to make it work. You can't just hire someone and let them kind of run off and do it. What do I have in the different ad sets? Literally nothing, to be honest. Like, it's broad. The only thing that's kind of changing is demographic and funnel. So the one with 3x ROAS is bottom of funnel. These other ones are pretty much just broad. They have different ad creatives to each ad set. That's it. Dark mode on Ads Manager. No, this is a Chrome extension that's made it dark. I got recommended it. It's actually pretty decent though, to be fair. It looks so much better. I've literally had it running for like 10 minutes. How do you target different parts of the funnel? The way you do it is you create custom audiences. And in those custom audiences, you can define who those people are. So inside of the ad set, you can select that custom audience, and then that ad set will only show to the people in that audience. So you can create a custom audience of website traffic. You can do it for engagement, video views. And then under the custom audience option, you can basically select that audience that you make. What's the name of the extension? I'll literally need to open it now because I can't remember. I've had it running for 10 minutes or so. Dark Reader, this one right here. It's free. I think they've got a paid version though, as well. How do I find my clients? Obviously through content and referrals at the moment. I'm also on Upwork. I've been on Upwork for like 7 years. And that still gives me quite a bit. Going through hundreds of leads, calling emails is so difficult. I think you're wasting your time calling and emailing people for this type of work, honestly. I think agencies maybe. You're going to find agencies that are looking to hire talent, but clients in general, you got very little chance. And don't believe any of the bullshit you see online about cold outreach and all these agencies claiming that it works. It doesn't. They're trying to sell you a scam. My other company is like, it's basically a tax company. Nobody knows that I'm part of it. Like I don't really put it out there publicly on LinkedIn or anything like that. And you get these people that reach out all the time from agencies. We get probably like three messages a day, right? We'll offer you SEO and get you first rank on Google. You don't pay. We'll run all your PPC. We know how to get these types of clients. We're offering discounted retainers. We just get hammered with it. And there might be someone in that email that's actually decent, but I would always skip past it because I'm just constantly getting fed. And it's the same with all these owners of e-com stores and Instagram pages that are selling whatever. They're constantly getting hit up by agencies. It's very difficult. Whereas content, the algorithm delivers your content to right people at the right time. So the ROI from that is just way higher. And they're coming to you. These paid ad results for your services or brand. For my services for a brand I'm working with, yeah. Did my CPCs go up much over Christmas? It did for some brands, yeah. Especially in the US. UK's not been too bad. What's the landing page like for the brand? For this brand, I mean, I'd love to show you, but I can't. But basically, top of the page, you've got, so it's an eco brand. At the top of the page, you've got UGC, like in the slider of the creative, a couple of images. Pretty much all UGC. It's not like product with white background. They have product description. We've got these tabs that sort of open up like accordions. Talks about shipping, product material. Underneath that, tons of social proof. So people that have actually taken pictures or videos of them using the product, UGC, that type of stuff. Those are actual reviews. Underneath that, there's a piece of content about the brand story. It shows you the product being produced. There's a bit of storytelling around that. Then it kind of ends with FAQ. And actually below the FAQ, there's an email sign up for 10% off your first order. It's kind of hard to visualize without showing you. But I'd say the big thing really is social proof. Like there's a lot of people talk about this product and we highlight that on the landing page. So that really is like a big driver. Do you find static or video creatives get better results? Do you know what? For the last 30 days, static has really been working well. But it varies so much. It varies between markets, between niches, like so much variation. And the right answer is you need to test both. Both serve their own purpose. Like UGC can be very good for top of funnel, showing to new people for the first time. Whereas static is very good if you've got a message that you want to get straight across to the user. You know, it's like a sale or special pricing, something like that. Static is usually going to work best because it's like 20% off straight in your face. But if you're doing like Jolie Skin, who have these like shower filters the water from a shower, or that type of product, UGC is very good because it's introducing a concept and kind of telling a story. Like, now I've got these benefits, blah, blah, blah. You can't really get that from static. Like, if you think of a static ad for that concept, you know, improve the water from your shower or something, it's just a lot harder. I thought ABO is working better than ASC at this time. What are your thoughts? Yeah, I'm finding the same. I really don't use Advantage shopping campaigns anymore. It's all asset budget optimization. Is Facebook lead form better or is website lead form better? Website. Because it kind of nurtures people. Facebook lead form is very low barrier to entry. I'm not saying it doesn't work though, like it can work, and I have a campaign running right now and it's working. But the barrier to entry is a lot lower. And you get a lot of people who accidentally fill it out. What do I use for landing page templates? I use Webflow a lot, to be honest, and then redirect them to Shopify. What product do I sell? In this ad account, fashion accessories. But what I really sell is like, I do marketing for these brands. I run the ads for them. Right guys, I have to jump, but thanks everyone who's watching.